Let's talk motion pictures. From the film festivals to filmmakers to film schools, the film industry in Central Florida seems to be right at home. And now with the increased incentives for filmmakers, some in the business say Central Florida is the perfect fit. Jerry Eisinger takes us to the set of 2 film projects to learn more.
Here in Maitland, on the set of the independent film H20 Extreme, an entire film crew bundles up in winter clothes. A site like this in Central Florida is about as typical as the story they're telling.
Romantic comedy with a little hockey.
Filmmaker Martin Piccinini loves telling stories through film. He survived in the Central Florida film industry for 17 years, but sees good signs that a mere survival story is turning into a success story, thanks in part to help from the state.
A project like this would not be underway right now without the Florida Film Incentive. And when we found out the Florida Film Incentives and what was still available, wow, the doors opened up to us actually getting the project completed and shot.
Those incentives to the Florida film industry add up to $25 million this year alone. Good news for Central Florida filmmakers. Last year, the number of feature films that were provided incentives was 6. This year, that number is expected to triple.
It's a great place to work. We have a tremendous infrastructure of people that are underutilized. Their talents are underutilized, that are anxious to work, that are anxious to do a great job and bring focus to themselves and to their art form in Florida.
Ralph Clemente heads up the film department at Valencia Community College. He's shown up on the set to lend the kind of support filmmakers can really use: more helping hands and creative minds.
Combined with the Valencia program, combined with the Florida Film Incentive program, this movie got shot. We had 36 students working every day with us in all the different departments, and they provided all of the gear.
When talking to anyone here about Central Florida's film community, emphasis almost always falls on the word community.
I call it the FBI, friends, brothers, and in-laws. And on this set, we have a very ambitious movie with a small budget, and I'm getting a lot of help and a lot of favors.
There's a lot of independent guys who live here who make their livings with studio features and network features, network television. But on the sides, in the summer, anytime we're in between studio or network jobs, everyone likes to become an independent filmmaker. And everybody jumps on board to help each other out.
At the same time this crew creates a wintry wonderland, director Todd Thompson shoots his film, This Man's Life, at Orlando's downtown Amtrak station. It's a story weaving audiences through the life journey of one man and set entirely on a train.
When you're shooting inside the confines of a train, which in essence is like a submarine for 3 days, and then you're here in a noisy train station, I mean, you definitely run into obstacles. You run into things that things you need to overcome in order to pull off the shot, and that's where the collaboration comes in. I mean, everyone comes forward with their ideas and everyone puts their expertise in, and that's how these things get done.
And unlike a typical Hollywood production that might come through town and hire just a few locals, Todd turned that formula upside down, hiring an entire local crew as well as Central Florida actors, bringing in just a few familiar Hollywood faces such as Michael Rooker and Bill Cobbs.
At first they might be a little apprehensive about coming here to shoot, but then when they're here, they're really literally blown away by how hospitable everybody is, how much people are here because of the true passion they have for the art.
Creating films like these takes more than the passion of industry insiders. Help from outside the film business is just as crucial if more films are to be made here.
Orlando is a community of people that are willing to give and support the arts, and a lot of people don't know that about Orlando. They just think of us as theme parks, but it's very much growing into an art community.
And even after a film is completely finished, there's still one more mountain to climb, and that's exhibition. Finding an audience many times can be just as challenging as making a movie. But film festivals like the one happening here at the Enzion Theater in Maitland is another example of how the community supports the local filmmaker.
It's definitely a hub of production. It's a hub of the arts. It's a place to really exhibit your work and showcase who you are.
The uniqueness of Florida is we still have big corporate theater programs. We also have independent theaters. So getting an independent theater to open your film, not that big of a challenge.
The support and passion for film is encouraging to filmmakers who just might be bringing a production to a neighborhood near you sometime soon.
I decided I was going to start producing. Been trying to raise money for a long time, and it's finally come through, and looks like we're going to be able to keep making movies and stay here in Central Florida.
The crews in Orlando, to me, are the hardest working crews anywhere and the nicest. So I plan to stay here. I want to do all my films here. And this is a place I want to call home.
If you want to follow their progress, you can find links on our website at wmfe.org/arts.